Hey everybody, welcome to another episode. And the first thing I have to do is apologize because I did not get a video out last Wednesday. I was super sick, not COVID or anything like that, just really bad flu. And then with work and everything else, I just didn't have time to finish editing that video I was going to release on Wednesday. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because the video is going to be about my cracked frame. And I discovered a few of the things that I'm researching and investigating, and I need to add that to that same video. So I'm still editing that, still filming that one, so that is coming. There are definitely some issues. We got to get to the bottom of what it is. I did have a little bit of a hiccup when calling Grand Design. They were telling me I need to go get an authorized person to look at it to basically verify that the frame is correct. Obviously I'm going to do that, but as you all know, if you try to book something with an RV dealer to get that done, you're looking at 2-3 months out before they're going to even let you in. And then once you get it in there, they're looking at several weeks before they even touch it. And as a full-timer, as you know, that is just impractical. We can't do that. So I suggested a mobile tech to come out, and they says, well, we're not sure we can do that because the schedule's booked out so much. However, I will be at the Tampa RV Super Show, so hopefully maybe one of Mike, or I forget the other guy's name, the mobile techs can look at it, because it'll be right there, parked right next to where they are. So maybe we'll get something taken care of there. So I'll keep you all posted on that. So I apologize, no video last Wednesday, but I am feeling better. So I have a question for all of you who are watching. If you guys are trying to book a spot, or are full-timers in Florida, are you having difficulty finding a spot? Are you calling to find out everybody's sold out, or you can only get a few days, you can't get a week or 2 weeks anywhere? That's what's happening to me. In fact, that's what's happening to many RVers in the Florida market. I guess because of the hurricane, there are 8,000 trail parks that are closed. They got damaged in the hurricane and have not reopened yet. So that's put a lot of pressure on all the other locations, and booking spots, if you're a Thousand Trails member, is next to impossible. As you all know, I've always had a love-hate relationship with Thousand Trails, but I renewed my membership this year, not knowing the trouble I was going to have this year. For example, just about every single park in the state of Florida, not just in a certain area, but in the state of Florida, has no availability more than 2 days. So, and you know the rules. If you got the 1,000 Trails plus the Trails collection and then your zones, on the 1,000 Trails collection, or the Trails collection, you go into a place for a day or 2 or 3 days or whatever, but then you have to be out of the system for 7 days before you can rebook. So if you can only get 2-3 days, it just doesn't make sense. You're moving all the time, and then you got to find some other commercial park or somewhere else to go for a week before you can even try to get back in the system. So that's what stinks. So I have learned, regardless of the membership you've got, you know, some say, oh, you got to have an upgraded membership. I've learned that's a bunch of BS. Regardless of what level you have the highest level elite membership, or just the entry level RV one that you get when you buy an RV, there is no priority. Absolutely zero priority of booking. The only difference is the higher end one, you can book instead of 60 days in advance, you can go 90 days in advance. And I think there's some older ones that lets you go 4 months in advance. So that gives you a little advantage. However, if somebody with that elite membership tries to book at the same day or on the same day as a person with the basic entry level membership, there's no priority at the park, or even with the 1,000 Trails 800 number, or even when you do it online, there's no advantage. So again, 1,000 Trails to me is, for me, it's just not worth it. The only reason I renewed it is because the last year I was able to move around pretty much throughout Florida with the park, or with all the RV parks in the Trails collection that they have in the system, and stay a week or 2. This year, not happening. There's just way too many RVers out there and not enough sites. So let's move into the commercial sites. In the commercial sites, at least from Central Florida, that's coast to coast, from basically Tampa area all the way over to Melbourne, Vero Beach, Daytona Beach area, and everything in between. Even the commercial sites, the private ones, there's nothing available. Again, you get 2-3 nights here. You might get 5 nights, but not a weekend because they're all booked up. It's just ridiculously hard. Now, I did find a couple places that could accommodate me for 2 weeks to 16, 17 days. But as you can imagine, they want an arm and a leg for it. I think it was for 17 days was $700. So you get the idea. It's expensive. They did have a weekly discount, but it still came out to $700 for those days. I did find another place that had they would rent out by the month, but you had to do a 4-month minimum. Well, I don't need 4 months. So, and they'll get you that way too. A lot of the parks I stayed in last year that were $45 to $50 are right now going from anywhere from $80 to $110. So they basically doubled just in 1 year. And that's because of the availability. Because of the hurricane shutting down a lot of the parks that are open, they decided, hey, let's capitalize on this. Which I guess I don't blame them, because everybody started calling to book up in their sites, so they raised the rates, and they're making a lot of money this year. Downside for us RVers, we're paying a lot more money this year. So I have been looking, and here's a site that I looked at. The drawback to this site is it's kind of steep right here. So when I'm parked up there and open the ramp, it's going to be way down. So I could maybe pull it all the way forward. That's probably what I would do, and park the truck back here. That's probably, yeah, see, look at the drop this person has right here. It's not a toy hauler, but it'd be a big drop. So this is what I mean by you're limited on where you can go. Now I can get this spot for the 2 weeks that I need. This particular site, they have 2 weeks, and they want $1,000 for the 2 weeks. So some of you might be asking, why don't you just boondock? You've got all the batteries and everything, and would love to boondock. Unfortunately, the Harvest Host places, or at least the Boondockers Welcome locations, are also all completely booked. So now what I'm doing, and if there's any viewers out there in the Central Florida area that know this, I'm looking for land to maybe just rent some land for a month or something like that, and I'll just boondock on it, and hopefully there'll be something convenient to where I can go dump my tanks, fill up water, and then come on back. So if anybody knows anything like that, I'm all ears. I'd love to hear from you. I do have a friend over in the Palm Bay, Melbourne area, which I may take up his offer to come go on his property. Again, it'd be boondocking, but it's kind of a haul from his property to a location where I can dump and fill water. But we'll figure that one out. That may be what I do, and I'll keep you posted on that one. In fact, it's my buddy who I helped pull those 2 cars out of the barn, or out of that garage, Tony. So that property there, he's, as you saw, got a lot of land, so I might go in that RV area right over there. So I'll keep you posted on that one. So what I'd like all of you to do is put comments down below. Are you having trouble, like I am, booking RV parks? Especially if you're a Thousand Trails member. I regret renewing my membership this year. If you haven't, may not be worth it. They're not going to tell you that there's no availability anywhere. So if you are considering renewing your membership, my advice, think twice. And also the Thousand Trails memberships, I've learned that while they try to sell you all those memberships, there's several thousand of them available on the secondary market. There's a few sites you can go to find used, or they'll resell them. However, Thousand Trails has changed the policy that you can only resell them once now. And if you buy a used one, you're the last person to use it. At least that's what I was told. I haven't verified that by looking that up or talking to a Thousand Trails person at corporate. It was a Thousand Trails salesperson that told me that one. So double check that one on yourself. If you are going to buy something off the secondary market, you will save yourself a lot of money. I think like somebody was saying those $10,000 elite memberships or something like that, they're going for $1,000, $1,500. So you can buy those. And I've heard they range up to $2,000, $3,000 too. And all the different tiers. And some of those old legacy ones, Thousand Trails is not allowing you to sell those at all. So if you have one of those, you can't resell it apparently. Okay, so I'd love all of you to give me your feedback. Leave your comments below if you're having the same trouble I am on trying to book an RV park in the Florida market. This has been very, very challenging, and we're only in December. I will be going over to Vero Beach area to hang out with my mom and dad for the holidays, for Christmas. And then just after Christmas, before the New Year's, I'm homeless. I'm RV-less, or RV spotless. So I have to find a place. So there's nothing after the 26th that I can find. So if anybody knows of anything, ping me, leave a comment below. Go ahead and email me at mybucketlistday@gmail.com if you know of any place. So now on to the next idea to solve this issue. I've now gone into the idea of maybe I'm just going to buy some dirt down here in Central Florida and build a couple RV pads on it. Bring in like 400 amp service and water and sewer, septic, whatever, a tank. And go ahead and build out 2 or 3 or 4, or maybe, depending on the size of the lot, multiple RV spots. And I'm not going to make that available to the public if I do go down that route. I'll probably just have one for myself and then a few others for friends, mostly you guys as followers or members. If you'd like a spot or need a spot, make that available to you guys. Tell me what you think of that idea. I'm not sure where I'm going to buy the lot yet, but I know it's going to be convenient to something like Central Florida, so you got Disney and all the park stuff there, or maybe over on the coast so you can get to the beaches and the intercoastal, or on the other coast where you can get to the Gulf and the bays there. So maybe I'll start looking into that. I had talked about maybe getting some land, and when I winter down here, just hang out there for the entire time. Maybe even build a bungalow on it, put in a little pool, a cool-off pool, something like that. We'll see. But that's just another idea. In fact, if any of you out there may be considering the same thing, maybe we'll go in on it together. Well, we'll see. So those are my ideas. Getting an RV spot here in Central Florida has been very difficult. Oh, and the Keys, forget about it. I've been calling almost every day to try to get a spot down in the Keys, and I can't even get one day down there right now. So I thought maybe after the first of the year I'll try to get a spot, but at least I'm told everything's booked up solid through the end of February. So maybe in March before I head out, we'll see. Well, that's it for this episode. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. And don't forget to hit that little like, subscribe, and ring that little bell. And that'll notify you, of course, that I'm releasing another video. And by the way, don't forget, hit that like button. Even if you've already subscribed, hit that like button. Because that helps me with the algorithms, as you all know. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. And make it a great bucket list day.